Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranams. So first of all, I would like to thank His Grace Satyati Prabhu for providing me this opportunity. And foremost among this is the Avataridesh Yatra leaders, Bhavarupa Narasimha Prabhuji and Sita Gauranga Prabhuji, who have actually provided and encouraged all the devotees in Avataridesh. Along with the Yatra leaders, I would also like to thank our Bhakti Vriksha leader who connected me to Avataridesh, His Grace Prasadesh Prabhuji, and his BV family. All of them have encouraged to connect to the Avataridesh Yatra. So I'm not taking individual names from the Bhakti Vriksha. All the senior devotees who are present today, and also especially His Grace Ravipati Prabhu and His Grace Madhusudan Prabhu for encouraging me in the Jilani camp and Jagannath Bhakti Vriksha activities. And to all the wonderful devotees who have assembled today, I would like to thank you. And today is a very auspicious day. It's Varaha Dwadashi. And we are also celebrating the topic that we are going to discuss today is Lord Nityananda Trayadashi. We had one class last Sunday, and today we will just touch upon a few things. So this is the itinerary today. We'll have a small bhajan. It is a Bengali bhajan by Lochandas Thakur. It's about Lord Nityananda, which is Akrodha Paramananda. And after that, we will start the class. Hare Krishna. This will be sung by Parth and Deepti. Prabhu, can you also give the hosting to Parth, co-host?
Done, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Pranams. Am I audible?
Yes, Parth. Yeah. Parth, Hare Krishna, you're audible, but there is a background sound.
Oh, okay, 1 second. Yeah, now I'm audible?
Yes, Parth.
Okay, Hare Krishna. अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद राय अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद राय अभिमान शून्य नित्य नागरे बेदाय अभिमान शून्य नित्य नागरे बेदाय अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद राय अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद राय अधम पतित जीवे द्वारे द्वारे गिया अधम पतित जीवे द्वारे द्वारे गिया हरि राम महामंत्र दीक्षिण बिलाया हरि नाम महामंत्र दीक्षिण बिलाया अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद राय अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद राय जारे देखे तारे कहे दंते तृणधारी जारे देखे तारे कहे दंते तृणधारी अमर किनियाला बल गौर हरी हमारे किनिया अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद राय
अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद राय
एत बलि नित्यानंद भूमि गति जाय
एत बलि नित्यानंद भूमे गदिजाय
सोनार पर्वत जेन धूलते लोताय
सोनार पर्वत जिन झूलते लोटाय
अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद राय
अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद राय
हेनावतारी जार रतीना जन्मीला
हेनावतारे जरारती न जन्मीला
लोचन बलि से पापियेला रगेला
लोचन बलि से पापियेला रंगेला
अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद राय
अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद राय
अभिमान शून्यान काय नागर बेदाय
अभिमान शून्य नित्य नागरे वेदा
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम
राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद राय अभिमान शून्य नितनागर बेदाय हरे कृष्ण धन्यवाद प्रणाम
Hare Krishna. Rasid Prabhu, is the voice okay here?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. You're loud and clear.
Okay. Hare Krishna. So we will start the program. We just heard Path singing about glories of Lord Nityananda. He is supposed to be Akrodha, which is never angry. Paramananda. He is always in transcendental bliss. So let's start this program by having the Mangalacharan. Om Agyana Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmiltam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Utapadakalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Tavadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakam Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dino Bando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayati Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Guruntina Taranam Paramandamathavam Shri Chaitaneshwaram Hare Om Tat Sat Hare Krishna. Here, along with this song by Lochan Das Thakur, we have a song by Narottam Das Thakur, which I'd just like to read the first bit, which is saying, Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushitala. So it says here by Narottam Das Thakur that we can, if we take the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, we can have the soothing moonlight of 1,000,000 moons. So it is said that if we want to have real peace, we need to take the shelter of Lord Nityananda. Unless one takes shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, it will be very difficult for us to approach Radha Krishna. And if we want to be in that party, then we will try to catch hold of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. So, who is Lord Nityananda? Sri Nityananda Prabhu is the sum total of all gurus, which is Samashti Guru. He is Guru Tattva. All individual gurus, which are Vyashtis, are representation of Lord Nityananda. Nityananda is not a jiva. He is divinity, the ultimate source of jiva. The jiva is the potency of Lord Nityananda. So here we know that Srimati Radhika is the guru of the inner circle of the servants of Krishna. However, she only accepts the offer of service from those souls who are specially favored by Nityananda and are deemed by him to be fit for her service. Lord Nityananda is also Lord Balrama, and Lord Balram is the source of all spiritual and material manifestation. All the Narayana and Vishnu expansions come from Lord Balram. Here, like the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pastimes are more pleasing than the Krishna pastimes, the Nityananda Prabhu pastimes are also more pleasing than the Lord Balram. Because Lord Balram used to chastise miscreants, killing so many demons. He was ready to throw the whole city of Hastinapur in the sea. He killed Ramaharsha Sutta by touching him with the tip of a blade of Kushagrass. But as Lord Nityananda, however, as we know, he is known as Akrodha Paramananda. He never gets angry. So we say that Krishna, which is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Balram, they are same. So are there any differences? There are two differences between Krishna and Balram. The difference is in the complexion and the mood. Krishna has a complexion of a freshly formed monsoon cloud, which is called as Meghasham, which is bluish black in complexion. And Balram is said to be like a newly formed spring cloud, which is white complexion. So one is blackish blue or gray like a cloud, and the other is white puff like a spring cloud. The other difference is in the mood. Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead in the mood of accepting devotional service, and Balramji is the supreme personality of Godhead in the mood of offering service or in servitorship. Balramji teaches us the way to offer service. So how can we today get to feel the glories of Lord Nityananda? What I've thought is today we will take a visit to the Dham, which is the Ekachakra Dham, the Dham where Lord Nityananda was born. It is said that we can be in Avataridesh, but still be in the Dham if we put our minds to the Dham. Whereas if we are even in a Dham and our mind is somewhere else, then we will not be in that place. So today we will try to go to Ekachakra Dham, the birthplace of Lord Nityananda, and then try to listen to the glories of Lord Nityananda, and then maybe take a few pastimes. So, Lord Nityananda was born in Ekachakra Dham in the year 1473 on the 13th day of the bright fortnight in the month of Magh, which is called Magh Shukla Trayodashi. And this Ekachakra Dham is actually about 165 kilometers from Mayapur. So we can actually, many of us have gone, many of us have been there. There is a daily trip. It's a day trip. You can go in the morning and then come back in the evening by seeing some of these Dham areas that we are going to discuss. It is called Radhadesh, the Desh where Ganges or Ganga Devi is not visible, or Ganga Devi doesn't flow from that area. So in Radhadesh, near Bardwan in Birbhum district, is a village called Ekachakra, which is about 8 miles from north to south. So this Ekachakra has got a story of how it got the name of Ekachakra. So it is said on the 9th day of the Kurukshetra war, Bhishma Pita was so fierce, so valiant that it looked that he would actually defeat the Pandava army, and Arjun looked a bit weak, or he was not able to take on the onslaught of Bhishma Dev. And then Krishna, who broke his vow of not taking a weapon, took the wheel of the chariot and then went to attack Bhishma Dev. And Bhishma Dev was standing, accepting the, looking forward to accept the attack by Krishna. And in that rasa, where he feels that he has invoked the Lord and he would want to take his blessings. But Arjun takes his feet and tells him that you have taken a vow, please don't break a vow. And then Krishna throws this chariot, and this chariot falls in this village. So that chariot is called Chakra, and Eka means one. So one wheel, one chariot wheel, Eka Chakra. So that's the story of how Eka Chakra has name has come. In this village, Nityananda Prabhu took birth as the only son of his mother, Padmavati Devi, and his father, Hadai Pandit. It is said that after Nityananda Prabhu took birth, all auspiciousness came to Ekachakra and Radhadesh. Mainly famine
poverty, and all other distresses at once disappeared, and the whole place was enriched with Krishna Bhakti. It is said when Nityananda Prabhu was crawling, he was called as Nitai, was crawling as a baby, everybody noticed his wonderful eyes, and his eyes reached up to his ears, and his nostrils, even when you're small, was very elegant, and it says that it looks like a sesame flower, and his lips were looking lush with freshly cut crimson red fruit. So he was a very beautiful baby, and it is said that the jewels on his body were actually being decorated by his body. Normally, the jewels on a body are decorating the body, but in Nityananda Prabhu's case, the jewels were decorated by Nitai's body. So he was very, very beautiful, and everybody in Ekachakra used to love him, and it is said that they loved him more than their own children. So this is how Nityananda Prabhu was when he was small. And then there are many pastimes that Nityananda Prabhu did up to the age of 12. So he used to enact the pastimes of Krishna like Putana Vad. He used to sit on the chest of a friend and then try to say that I'm going to take the life air out of you. And then he used to act like Lakshmana, where he used to challenge Sugriva, saying who you are. Or he used to also fall down, being attacked by Indrajit, son of Ravan. And then he would have Hanuman going to bring the Sanjeevani. And then he used to also act like Balram as a cowherd. And he used to do so many pastimes with his friends that they would ask that, how do you know these pastimes? So he says, I know because I am these leelas are my leelas. That's how I know. And he, at the age of 12, around that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, and it is said that Nityananda Prabhu roared loudly the day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, because the Lord had come to fulfill the prophecy. Nityananda Prabhu is also Lord Balram, but he is coming in the form of servitorship. So he is awaiting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance and for him to start the Andolan, which is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And at the age of 13, it is said that a sannyasi, maybe it's Lakshmi Tirtha, he came and he stayed with Harai Pandit and Padmavati Devi. And after having been treated well and seeing the service of the family, they asked him whether, his father asked whether he could do something. And the sannyasi said that if you're giving me some alms, I would like to take your son Nitai in alms, because he can serve me. I am a sannyasi, I go from place to place, and he would be a good person to assist me, and I would want him to be given to me actually. So Hadai Pandit couldn't bear it, and he said that, why do you want him? If it's service that you want, then I can be your servant. I will join you wherever you want, and I will serve you in whatever way you want. But the sannyasi said, if you don't want to give Nitai, there's no problem, but I don't want anything else. If you're giving me something, then I want Nitai. With a very heavy heart, both of them, Padmavati Devi and Rai Pandit, handed over Nitai to this sannyasi. And then it is said that the sannyasi took Nitai all over India. So Nitai went from South India, from Kanyakumari until North Badrikashram, in the west from Pandharpur to Jagannath Puri in the east, and from there Then he went back to Mathura in Vrindavan, where he waited for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to start his congregational chanting, the Sankirtan movement, and then he would go back to the Mayapur, Navdeep, be with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then start the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So what we will do is actually, we will go through the places of Ekachakra, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had all his leelas. So you can see that in the Ekachakra Dham, there is a mandir called the Garbhavasa or the Sutika Mandir, which is actually the birthplace of Lord Nityananda. Inside that temple, there are main is Lord Nityananda. On his left is actually Gauranga, and on his right is Advaitacharya. Gauranga has actually raised his hand, and there is also a deity on the side of Sri Sri Radhakanta and Sri Sri Radha Srikandaretis on the side of this temple. And this is one more deity of Lord Nityananda in this temple. This is the Bhavan, the home of Hadai Pandit. So Hadai Pandit and his wife, they passed away soon after the sannyasi took Nityananda. So we'll just go through quickly the places that are important at the dham. Near the home, there is a peepal tree, and the peepal tree, it is said that Hadai Pandit used to chant at this Malatala just before Nityananda left Ekachakra. So Mala is basically japa, beads, and Tala is basically the tree. So he chanted it there, and he left the japa beads in this tree. So this is called as Malatala. Many years later, Lord Chaitanya, after Lord Nityananda left Ekachakra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the place and left a garland on a branch of the tree. So that mala is also called as Malatala. Then there is a place where Lord Nityananda bought all the sacred waters of the Ganges. So as we know, the Ganges doesn't flow there actually, but he bought all the sacred waters from all the holy waters to this Kunda to save the local residents from traveling to the Ganges. This is called as Hantugada Tirtha. This is also called as Janukund. He used to celebrate here in a kneeling position and to celebrate the Dahichida festival and distribute the Dahichida Prasadam actually. A great fair is being held during 2 days. One is Nityananda Trayadashi and Goshtastami, which is the worshipping of Gomata on the 8th day of the reducing moon during Margashirsha month. Near there, 400 or 500 meters away from where Nityananda Prabhu was born, there is a place called Pandav Tala. In Pandav Tala, it is said that during the Vanvas or the exile of the Pandavas and Kunti Devi lived in this place, and they used to worship this deity, which is shown in this screen, and they lived there. So during this time, there is also a pond where Nityananda used to wash his clothes and utensils were washed, and in the core of this kunda, in this pond, there is another kunda called as Ananga Kunda. We know that Ananga Manjari is actually Lord Balram in the Madhurya Rasa, which is not visible to the material eyes, and the pujaris of the temple used to take this water for their daily worship. During the stay of Pandavas in Ekachakra, there used to be a demand called as Bakasur. And Bakasur used to ask the villagers to offer one person as food for him, with all the fruits and things had to be given to him. So Kunti Devi told Bhim to kill Bakasur. So he had been terrorizing this village for years, and then Bhim went, and there's a fierce fight between Bhim and Bakasur, and then finally Bakasur was killed and Bhim was victorious, and the village of Ekachakra was free of this demon. So what happened was, at that time Arjuna tried to help Bhim. So Bhima had gone alone to fight Bakasur. When Arjuna came to know of this, Arjuna said that let me also try to help Bhim, and he sent the snake arrow. The snake arrow, which was given by Lord Shiv to Arjun, he shot the snake arrow to kill or to attack Bakasur. But by the time the snake arrow reached the place where Bakasur was there, Bhima had already killed Bakasur. So the snake arrow could not complete the role. So it remained in that vicinity and started harassing the villagers or the residents of Ekachakra. So it is said that when Nityananda came to know of this, he took his kundala, his earring, and blocked the hole completely. And the kundala is supposed to have become big and blocked that hole. When the snake was hidden or stopped in this way, the snake asked Nityananda Prabhu as to how he would survive. So the merciful Lord said that the people would build a temple and offer prasadam to the snake, and Nityananda was very merciful. There is also a bakula tree. This is a tree which is between this kunda and this house, where Lord Nityananda and his friends used to play a game called Chala Jhapeta. And it is said that all the branches and the sub-branches of this bakula tree looked like serpents. It is said that Anantadeva manifested as per the desire of Lord Nityananda. Then there is also a place where Lord Nityananda found the Krishna deity, which is the Bankimara deity, in the Yamuna river. Kadam means clay and Khandi means ghat. So this deity of Bankimara was floating in the Yamuna at this place, and Nityananda Rai picked him up and installed in the temple, in this temple called Bankimara temple. In this, just about a half a mile from here, in the village of Veerachandrapura, after some time, the deity of Lord Radharani are also located, and both of them are inside this Bankimara temple. In this temple, this is actually submerged in the Janukunda, and it is said that the priest from that temple says that Lord Nityananda entered this deity at the time of his disappearance. Next to that, there is a temple. So this temple is important because it's a temple of Shiva. It's called Maureshwar Shiva temple, and Lord Nityananda's father, Harai Pandit, used to regularly worship in this ancient temple. And it is said that when Nityananda was born in Ekachakra, the deity roared, and it was heard all the way in Mayapur and Chantipur in the homes of Advaita Acharya and other devotees. And it was understood that an Avadhuta had appeared. So this actually covers the dham of Ekachakra. We have covered most of the places in Ekachakra. If we can imagine the activities that he has done, the transcendental pastimes of Lord Nityananda, we will feel transcendental, or we feel blissful. We will now touch shortly on the activities as pastimes of Lord Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda was in Mathura, and from Mathura he joined Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then told him to go and start the Sankirtan movement. And the Sankirtan movement is something which is actually going to wash the whole earth. So here it is said the moment at which Nityananda Prabhu met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it was like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as golden sun and Nityananda Prabhu as moonlight, as moon, as soft and cool as moon. When they embraced each other, that was the starting point of the Sankirtan movement. This is what is said, that this is the time it is made. Before that, there is a story that when Nityananda Prabhu came to Navadvip, he hid in the house of Nandanacharya, which is called as Ishavodya. So it is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu waited for Nityananda Prabhu to reach Navadvip to start this. And Nityananda Prabhu, he actually traveled for 20 years in the length, breadth, north, south, east, west of India. But he was also waiting for the Lord to start or to instruct him, because he is the servitor Lord, actually. He is in the mode of servitorship. And he is also teaching us of how to do loving devotional service. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur that you go to every town, to every village, knock on every door and give every person the name of Krishna. So taking the instructions from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu would knock at every door and fall at their feet and request each one to chant the name of Krishna and to make their life successful. Many of the devotees, many of the people who seeing such a wonderful, glowing sannyasi would take up chanting. But there were others who were very envious, who would not take up chanting. They were not able to join the Sankirtan bhajans, and they would insult him, sometimes beat him. And it is said that Nityananda Prabhu would fall on the ground and say that I will be sold to you. I will be your eternal slave if you chant the name of Krishna. He says that I am an Avdhuta. I am a renunciant. I am a sannyasi. I don't need anything. He says, Mukhe Hari Bol Bhai, A Mantra Bhikshate. He just needs the name of Krishna. He doesn't need anything else. He who is the first expansion, and his partial expansion is Mahavishnu. And that Mahavishnu, with one inhalation, can close the entire creation, and with one exhalation, bring out a complete creation. He is actually asking his servants to chant. So Nityananda Prabhu, very important, he never ordered, he only begged. Nityananda Prabhu is the embodiment of forgiveness, tolerance, and compassion. So we go on this story where while walking, they saw a big crowd. Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur were walking in the village and they saw a big crowd. And when they asked what's happening, they said that there are two Brahmanas. They were of nice origin, high origin. They were called Jagannath Rai and Madhavananda Rai, and they were sons of Raghunath Rai. However, due to bad karmas, due to bad activities, they are actually very abominable, and they did all kinds of sin. They cheat people, they kill people, they are intoxicated, and they have illicit relations, and they are called Jagai and Madai. So the brothers are called Jagai and Madai. So Jagai and Madai are the two great people, the great abominable people who are creating a scene there. So what they were doing is, they were intoxicated, they were shouting abuses, but they were also beating each other. They were pulling their hair. So they were creating a big scene. So seeing this, Nityananda Prabhu's eyes lit up. It says that he said, they are the most powerful people looking in the bad way. If we can convert them, then the whole of Navadvip will take the name of Krishna, and the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be smoothen or hasten or become faster if you do that. So Nityananda Prabhu took the task of going to approaching Jagai and Madai and telling them to change their lives. So this is how Nityananda Prabhu went this. He said, hey, great people, you are two great souls. Everybody knows of your great origin, but you are great in a Brahmanical family and you have high knowledge. But I would like to request you to give up your sins and surrender to Chaitanya, take the name of Krishna and make your life successful. And this is the time. So Jagai and Madai, they said, we know we are great. You don't need to tell us that we are great. And who are you to tell us to change ourselves? We catch him. We are going to now catch you and show you how great we are. And they started to run after them. And then both of them, Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Pandit, ran away from them. And they were running. It is said that they were running, but also exchanging dialogues and laughing and talking. So Haridas Thakur said that you are mad. How can anyone convince these people, Jagai and Madai? No one can convince these people. Hearing this, they're running and they're talking. Nityananda Prabhu says, you are telling that I am mad? I am saying that the person who has given this instruction, he is mad. He is saying, knock on every door, visit every village and tell them to chant the name of Krishna. And he sits like a king and says, give this mercy. This mercy, so this is actually glorification of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, though they were saying in jest. It is said that no incarnation till date has done this in the past, currently, or in the future. And it is said that they ran away and they escaped. And when Jagai and Madai could not catch Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, then they turned towards themselves and they started punching, pulling, swearing, kicking, and drinking, and they were doing like this and they continued. So when they told this to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I think I should kill them actually. I should kill them with my this thing. So Nityananda Prabhu said, no, that killing is for Kalki Avatar. In that Kalki Avatar is for killing. You are all merciful. In this Kali Yuga, it is said that everybody is Jagai and Madai. But some are in big quantity or big sense and some are in small. This Jagai and Madai is also said to be like the two brothers, like Ravan and Kumbhakarna, or who was the other person? No, Dantavakra and
Shishupal.
Yeah, Shishupal and Dantavakra. Yes. So they're supposed to be the two brothers who are incarnate here. And the way that they killed in those times is not the way to kill in Kali Yuga. We will convert them because it is said that Prayena Alpaisha Sapsha Kalavasmin Yugejana Manda Sumanda Mateo Manda Bhagya Hi Upatrata, which means we have a less age and in this life we are highly disturbed. This Kali Yuga is the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. When Haridas Thakur narrated this to Advaita Acharya, he said, I am scared to go with Nityananda Prabhu. He goes with a stick and of the children and says, and when the parents of the children come out, he runs away and I am left to face them. Then sometimes he goes after small girls and then tell them, I want to marry you. And when the father or the local people come, he runs away and I am left there. And I am found to be the troublemaker. He also jumps into the water when the Yamuna is in spate and then plays with the crocodiles, which is infested with crocodiles. And then I am trying to ask him to stop it, but he doesn't stop it actually. He says, today I thought I would be caught. Even when I was whipped in the 22 marketplaces, I was never scared as I was with Nityananda Prabhu today when I saw Jagai and Madai coming to, in that intoxicated form, they would come and kill me. So, hearing this, Advaita Acharya says, it is very natural for an intoxicated person to take the company of intoxicated person. So Advaita Acharya says that Nityananda Prabhu is intoxicated with Krishna Prema, and Jagai and Madhai are intoxicated with other things. So it is very natural for them to be together, and they are good company. But Advaita Acharya consoled Haridas Thakur and said that very soon they will be chanting the names of Krishna. So Jagai and Madhai used to also come to the ghat where close to where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to bathe. And then they used to hear from Srivas Angan or Srivas's house the kirtans and from far away. And then they would say, why don't you also accept us? We would also like to join your Sankirtan movement. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tried to avoid them because he knew, and he was told by Nityananda Prabhu that you have to be patient to connect these such scoundrels to the Sankirtan Andolan. So one day when Nityananda Prabhu was walking down the street, Jagai and Madhai saw him and tried to corner him and then asked him why he had come. So Nityananda Prabhu said, I have come to ask you, at least now, leave everything, leave all your sinful activities, just take the name of Hari and then be a part of Sankirtan movement and become blissful actually. Madhai, hearing this, got very angry, and he took a mud pot and smashed it on Nityananda Prabhu's head. So blood was coming from the head, and all the pieces of the pot was on Nityananda Prabhu. And in that position also, Nityananda Prabhu did not lose his anger, and he was pleading with them to leave these things and chant the name of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, on hearing this, he rushed to the place, and then he said that you have actually attacked my devotee, and I am going to now cut your head. And he called the Sudarshan Chakra. At this point, before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in, there was a second time that Madhai wanted to beat Nityananda Prabhu, and he was looking for another weapon, either a stone or another pot to beat, when there was a change in the heart of Jagai. Jagai said, brother, look at him. This is a sannyasi. You have beaten him. Blood is coming. See his body. And still, he is asking you to chant the name of the Lord. See how transcendental he is. Let us not beat him. And at that moment, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in. He was very furious. He brought his Sudarshan Chakra, and he was about to kill Madhai. At that time, Nityananda Prabhu implored Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not to kill. He also said, you know, Jagai actually saved my life. When Madhai beat me with this pot, it was Jagai who saved me. So Nityananda Prabhu's words cooled down Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He set down the chakra, and then he said, today you have saved my devotee, and I am blessing you. I am giving you Krishna Prema. And that way, Jagai was actually liberated. Hearing this, Madhai said, we are same to same. Whatever he has said, I have also done. Whatever he has done, I have also done. Then how come you are giving him and not giving me this anmulya, this golden treasure? So he said, you will be killed because you have hurt my devotee. I can bear an attack on me, but I will never bear an attack on my devotee. So if you get the forgiveness from Nityananda Prabhu, then I will spare you. Then Madhai caught hold of Nityananda Prabhu's feet, fell at his feet, and then asked for his forgiveness. And Nityananda Prabhu, so merciful, he picked him up, embraced him, and said, from today, you are free from all your sins because you have got the association and the love from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it is said that Madhai was so remorseful that he asked how he could wash away his sins. So it is said that Nityananda Prabhu told him that you go to Ganga Ghat, and then whenever devotees come there, you can wash the place after they have taken the bath. So it is said that Madhai used to go to the Ganga Ghat, and then every devotee who used to come to take bath there, he used to say that I am very fallen, I have done a lot of sins, please pray for me, please forgive me. And then he would clean the ghat after they have used it. It is called Madhai Ghat. It is still got, the place is called as Madhai Ghat. And it is said that he used to chant 200 times the name of the Lord, and they joined the Sankirtan movement. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that now, if anybody insults Jagai or Madhai, then they will be, because of their past misdeeds, then they will be out of the Sankirtan movement, because Jagai and Madhai have received the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. So this is a very important thing. Then the next one is actually one more pastime we will do once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu invited Nityananda Prabhu to their home for lunch, and when Sachi Mata came there, she saw that both of them were exchanging loving glances. And then when they go, and she went to take some more food, their 2 plates became 3, and they were no longer the 2 people that she knew, but they were 2 boys. One was dark and one was fair, and they were in the 4-handed form and of the Lord. And in the heart of the fair one, she could see her daughter-in-law. And seeing all this, she could not understand what was happening. And then she fell unconscious. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took her to the other room. And when she came back to her consciousness, they came back. So this is one pastime of Nityananda Prabhu, where he showed that he and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are both Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just difference is in the complexion. Then one more actually, when Nityananda Prabhu was staying in the house of Srivas Thakur, there was a bowl of bell metal which a crow had taken. The crow took the bell metal and then kept it in the nest, and the crow back came again, maybe to see whether he can take something else. So the Malini Devi started crying, and at that time Nityananda Prabhu was staying there and asking what had happened. He consoled her, saying that don't worry, I will now get you the bell metal bowl. And he ordered the crow to bring it back. The crow was standing there, went back to the nest and brought the bell metal bowl. So like that, there are two. These are some of the this thing is there. So in short, we can just summarize what is Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu is Parama Karuna, which means he has got mercy in full, which is costless. He is also called as Avadhut Shiromani. He is the head of the renunciants. He is Swamsha, is the direct expansion of the Lord. He is the first expansion of the Lord. He is also called as the existence potency, or the Sandhini potency, Sandhini Shakti of the Lord. He is also Lakshman. He is also Balram. He is Krishna's paraphernalia. All at the paraphernalia of Krishna is Lord Nityananda. He is also said to be Vrindavan itself. He has expanded for the Leelas to happen. It was said that he actually expanded when little Krishna was facing the demons and he was looking little scared. So Vrindavan expanded to try to increase the distance between the Asura and little Krishna. And in some other times, when little Krishna wanted Yashoda Mai and was remembering her or crying for her, the Vrindavan tried to come together or come closer to bring Yashoda Mai closer to Krishna, little Krishna. Like that, in every paraphernalia of Krishna, in every material, non-material, spiritual, is Lord Balram and Lord Nityananda. He is also Ananta Shesha in the service activities, which is he actually comes as a snake with his coils for Mahavishnu to relax. And it is said, then when Mahavishnu feels hot, Ananta Shesha becomes cold. And when Mahavishnu feels cold, Ananta Shesha becomes hot, both ways. So we are very blessed to have the appearance of Lord Nityananda in Ekachakra, because of whom we are all blessed. And as an ending, I would like to have this pranam mantra for Nityananda Prabhu, and it can be said tomorrow also and today also. Maya tite vyapi vaikunta lokhe purna aishwarya Shri Chaturvyuha madhye rupam yashodbhati sankarsha naksham tam Shri Nityananda Rama prapatye. I surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Rama, who is known as Sankarshana in the midst of the Chaturvyuha, consisting of Vasudev, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. He possesses full opulences and resides in Vaikuntha, far beyond the material creation. Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. If there is some time, then maybe the senior devotees can discuss further or improve on this. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you for the wonderful class enlightening us on Nityananda, the Three of the Sea. Ravipati Damodar Prabhu has raised hand. Any questions, Prabhu? Please. Prabhu is there to answer us.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Wonderful class, Prabhuji. Thank you. Prabhuji, I had one question that during this in Jagannath Puri, during the Rath Yatra, whether what was Nityananda Prabhu had participated, since I had heard, but I am not sure, means out of there were 7 parties. So Prabhuji, if you can tell whether he had one party in that, if you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So the role is actually both of them are same. Okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu are same. They are only different in terms of their complexions and their mood. So Nityananda Prabhu is in the mood of servitorship. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did the Rath Yatra, Nityananda Prabhu was also part of the Sankirtan movement. He was part of the 5 in the front, the left and the back. He was there in the front.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, devotees, any other questions? Yes, Prabhu, Jagajjivana Prabhu, please.
Yeah. So Nityananda Prabhu was very melodious and he used to sing very beautifully. So he was a very good kirtanier also.
Hare Krishna, devotees, any other questions? Prabhu is waiting to answer us. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Bahadur Prabhu, if there is no questions, can we go for announcements or next schedule, Prabhu? Bahadur Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, just a small, maybe, and perhaps it's not about class, just for my, maybe I had this in mind, so I thought I may raise this here. So when Kalki Avatar takes place, Prabhu, Lord Shri Krishna again appear. So to annihilate the miscreants and establish Dharma again. So during the same time, what about Lord Nityananda? Is there any? His entourage, including Lord Nityananda, also will appear? Like, because we never discussed about about it actually, because we always talk about Kalki Avatar, where Lord Krishna would appear. Thought, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the question. I do not have the full answer, but what I understand is that when the Lord appears, all his Parshads who are there, associates, he comes with all his associates actually. So with that understanding, when Krishna appears as Lord Kalki, all his associates will definitely come, and Nityananda
Okay.
Prabhu also will be there as at that time. Actually, this is what I understand. The reason is that in the whether it's annihilation, he is also the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So his presence is definitely there along with Lord Kalki.
Thank you, Prabhu. Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.